Welcome to Team G503. I am Scott Schiller, your host. Got a little how-to tech clip video to show you. It's how to use these little wonders. Some people call them helicoils, permacoils. Basically what happens is when you have a stud, like I have in this video to show you repaired, and it strips out of the block, you can use these successfully to repair that. And I'll show you the process in the video here. What I had was I had the brand new L134 engine rebuilt, and everything was done and looked beautiful. And I got it mounted into the chassis, and I hooked up the radiator. And when I was filling it with coolant, it was a wonderful thing. I was all excited about it until the next morning when I woke up and saw a basketball-sized puddle of antifreeze coolant on the floor underneath the Jeep. So I was like, where is this coming from? And it looked like it was coming from the fuel pump. I said, there's no way it can be coming from the fuel pump. So I get a flashlight, look around, and finally I found out where it was coming from. It was coming from one of the studs that holds the exhaust manifold onto the block. And the water jacket, they do penetrate the water jacket, so you have to use sealant in there, but it was leaking very drip slow. It would run right down the top of the valve cover, right down the side of the block, onto the fuel pump, and then off the fuel pump down to the floor. Some people don't like these. I had great success and have had great success using those. And I'll show you in the video little tricks to kind of keep the metal out of the block. I'm going to recommend in the beginning of the video and the end of the video that if you do have this situation, you should probably disconnect the radiator after you do the repairs and then flush and fill your block again. Just if there's any debris and little pieces of metal in there, it won't get stuck into your cooling ports. All right, let's dive into the video. Okay, here's the side of the block of the L134 engine. As you can see, I've removed the exhaust manifold, and there is the culprit where the coolant was leaking out of. As I said, it ran down the side of the block. Here's the brand new stud, and here's something very interesting. I'll screw this in here, and it is threaded, and the stud will go into the block. And I was able to put the proper amount of torque on this stud when I installed the manifold, which is very strange. You see here, I'll pull on it, and it really doesn't pull right out, but it moves enough where the coolant leaked past the sealant. And I'll take this back out and try to zoom in here with the camera so you can see the threads, but they're really wore down. Get a close look here. You can see there is some threads on there, but they're wore out, and that's allowing the coolant out and to drip. And I thought maybe just put sealant on there, but in this condition, it's not going to work, so I'm just going to go ahead and repair them. Let me give you a close-up shot here of the inserts or the helicoils themselves. You'll see this little tab on the back, and how it works is you use the tool after you rethread that hole, and then you spin the helicoil in, and then that tab will break off. You can see the little notch there where it will break off at the end rather easily. And then you'll have new threads, and you'll be able to put the stud or bolt inside there securely. The studs are threaded 3/8 by 16, and I was able to buy a fix-a-thread kit that comes with both the drill bit, the tap, and the actual helicoils. The steps are: number one, you get your stripped hole, you drill it out, you tap it, and then you install the helicoil, and you're all set. I've got the ports on the block all plugged up. I don't want stuff falling down inside the engine. And I've left the gasket on just in case I slip and scratch the surface. I know that sounds silly, but I will be replacing the gasket eventually. So what I'm going to do now to keep the debris to a very minimum from when I drill this is I'm going to use my shop vac and just put the nozzle near the hole as I drill. I'm using a 25/64 drill bit as recommended by the kit for the tap, and I've got a little light cutting oil on the drill bit. It just helped a little bit, and maybe the debris will stick to that. I'm trying to have the shavings that enter the block to a very minimum. So with the drill at a 90-degree angle to the block, make sure you're straight into the hole, and I'm using the shop vac to vacuum up the debris as it comes out. I take little breaks and vacuum away the most I can. I really don't want to get a lot of debris inside the block of this engine. You will feel when the drill bit penetrates the block, it'll go right through smooth and easy, and that's when you stop. So I'll check it out here with a flashlight. It looks like I got a really nice smooth drill hole. Take a close-up look here. It's nice and smooth. There's still little threads left on that, and I think that's a good thing. The oil on the drill bit actually worked out really well. As you can see that I've collected quite a bit of debris with the oil, so that was a good thing. Now I'll take out the tap from the kit, and the tap has a square end on one side, and this kit actually came with its own handle, which has a slotted hole for the tap, and on the other end, it has the actual tool that you will insert the helicoil with. Very nice. So we'll insert the tap into the handle, and then what I'm going to do basically is the same thing I did with the drill, is I'm going to insert the tap and slowly turn it, make it square to the block, and then I'm going to also back it up a little bit every now and again and use my shop vac to collect as most of the metal shavings as I can. It's very important to get the tap square to the block. Start off slow and let the tap grab the metal as you turn it in, and you'll actually feel that it's inserted correctly. We'll make a few turns here, and it's going to be a little hard at first because you're actually cutting new threads into the block, but I'll turn it probably 2 or 3 times clockwise, and then I'll stop and back it out a little bit and use the shop vac to collect any of the debris that I'm making from cutting the new threads. Using the shop vac, and then again, just backing out a few turns, it's not going to hurt anything, but you can see that I'm vacuuming those metal shavings from cutting the new threads out of my way, and they're not going into the inside of the engine block. Very important. Repeat that step a couple times until you feel the tap penetrate the block, and it'll get very nice and easy, and just spin it backwards back out of the block. And then you'll notice as the oil that I've applied to the tap, both as a cutting agent, also collected some of the debris. I'll give that one last quick vacuum, and then we'll move in close and check out the new threads. The new cut threads look fantastic, and I'm going to reach inside with a Q-tip and a swab, and I'm going to clean those off with some acetone just to make sure that I've got a nice clean surface for the new helicoil to seat into. So I'll clean the inside here with a cotton swab. I'm just using plain old acetone. Seems to work really well on fluids and oils and the such. Let's go back to the tool that was provided with the kit with the handle on one end. The slotted end is actually the end that you will insert the helicoil with on that tab right there by my thumb. It slips on there like that, and then you use the handle to insert it into the block and turn it into the new cut threads. I'm going to be using some Permatex water pump and thermostat housing gasket maker as a sealant between the helicoil and the block. I'm going to install a liberal amount onto the male portion of the threads. You'll see here what I mean by liberal. There's some certain gaps in here, and even though this is going to thread in nicely to the block, I want to be sure it's not going to leak. And here we go, a liberal amount. I know you think that's too much, and it probably seems like it is, but watch how I use my finger, and I just kind of roll that around. I'm going to make a nice even coat on that helicoil, shown as here. That's going to seal up really nice as I turn it into the block. You want to be, once again, very square to your work. Start off really slow and just take your time. Turn the helicoil into your new cut threads. Every now and again, you might want to turn back just a half a turn just to make sure you're sealing up the areas between the helicoil and the threads you've just cut in the block. You're going to turn that helicoil in till it's just below or flush with the surface of the block. I've got to go a little bit further here because I still have the original gasket on here. I will be replacing the gasket, but I just, again, left that there so I wouldn't scuff or scratch the surfaces while I was working with these hardened tools around this area. A little cleanup of the excess sealant that's around the helicoil, and we're ready to install the stud again. One last step before installing the stud, because you won't be able to get the stud past the helicoil, that little insertion tab that we had, you have to break that off. I'm using a pair of needle nose pliers and just reach in and wiggle it back and forth and snap it at that break point that I showed you in the beginning of the video. Thank God I didn't drop that down into the block after all the work we did. Next, I'm going to use the same sealant that I used on the helicoil, and I'm going to apply a generous amount to the male threads again. Just put a blob on the side and make sure that you coat all the threads evenly, but you want to make sure you also have enough on there so it is actually going to seal. Something like this will work just fine. And now it's time to reinstall the stud. So we'll just spin this in, and I'm only going to insert this to as what I would call hand tight, and that's really all it needs to be. You don't have to crank on these to get them back in. And that sealant, again, give it a little spin, just a little back and forth turn so the sealant actually works into the threads. I think you'll like that little trick, and I think that'll make sure that the sealant seals and we won't have any more leaks. After I get done with this, now I'm going to have to replace the gasket and put the manifold all back on, and as you can see here, that is solid as a rock. I'm very happy with it.
And there you have it. It's not hard. You just have to be patient. And the kits are not very expensive, and they come with everything that you need. I like them. I like the Helicoils. And I'm sure there's better things you can use, but this worked out fantastic for me and has on other things in the past. I have had no issues with the engine since. Once again, I used the vacuum there to vacuum up the little shavings as I worked, and that helped out greatly because you don't want a bunch of big little chunks of metal inside your block there in the water jacket. And then again, I'm going to recommend you disconnect the radiator and flush and fill that block as best as you can, but just in case there's anything in there, you don't want that plugging up ports. All right, my friends, if you'd like to subscribe to Team G503 and follow along what we're doing on the 1943 Willis MB project, we always appreciate it, and we always appreciate the comments. Thank you for watching. Until next time, my friends, keep it safe. Happy Jeeping.